I'm your host, CDJ, also known as Camille Jamerson, CEO of CDJ and Associates. In this episode of Mogul Moments, we're going to talk to you, the people who are still working a 9-to-5 while you're building your empire. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, I remember those days when I was both building a business and working for someone else. And there's something that can happen to you if you're not careful that can throw a monkey wrench in your entire plan to becoming the mogul that you want to be. You want to know what it is? It's called getting slashed. And when I say slashed, I don't necessarily mean cut, sliced, hurt in any way like that. What I mean by getting slashed is that you're given, 7 jobs for one check. Anybody out there? Yeah. It's happened to me, and it may have happened to you too. So when I say slashed, I mean, so you're the executive assistant / project manager / director of the blah, 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 and XYZ. And before you know it, you're doing the job of 4 or 5 people all under one umbrella with 7 titles and 1 check. Now, there are strategies that I used when that happened to me. The first thing that I will tell you is that if that happens to you voluntarily, meaning you go in knowing that that's kind of what that particular job requires, or that you're going to be wearing a gazillion hats, you need to make the most out of that. Meaning, on your resume, you need to include the scope of that experience and what that title really should be. And you could put pseudo in front of it, and then in interviews you can explain, no, that wasn't my title. That's why I marked it as such. But however, these were my responsibilities. These were the things that I was responsible for. Because my hope is that eventually you'll find a position that will believe in one job, one check. So while you're searching, you want to make certain that you include all of the experience, the entire scope of your experience that you've been saddled with during this time of being slashed. The second thing that I would recommend is that you don't put all of your titles in your signature line. Some people think that that looks impressive. It doesn't. It looks silly. It really does. It looks silly. Stop. Where you're the, as I said earlier, executive assistant / this / that. What it looks like is 2 things. The first thing, it looks like as if, hey, I'm an employee who will do 7 jobs for 1 check. Please, please, please use me. That's the first thing. The second thing is it makes your company look cheap. It really does. It makes your company look cheap. It makes your company look as if, and I mean the people that you're working for, it makes them look as if they can't afford to hire the people that they need, so they keep saddling their employees with extra positions. So it doesn't look good for you, and it doesn't look good for your employer, so don't do it. The last thing that I would recommend is that if you get slashed involuntarily, meaning they're just adding things on to your position that you really had not anticipated, what I would recommend is a meeting with HR. And not so much to be mean or vindictive or to go in with some kind of attitude. That's not the point. Because usually in job descriptions, they put that little line in there and other duties as needed to be kind of this catch-all for everything that they can saddle you with. And I'm an employer, so I am talking from an employer's point of view. So if you look at kind of what you're doing, what they initially paid you to do, you can go into HR and say, hey, I'm just wondering where we are with things. This was my initial job description. These were the things that you guys initially required me to do. These are the additional things that I've been asked to do. And these actually fall under the position or job of X, Y, and Z. And have your stuff together, right? And then you want to ask them, which do you want me to do? Just ask the question, which do you want me to do? Because I can't do all things well. And that's really what you want to bring to the table, because you don't want balls to drop while you're trying to juggle all of these positions and skills and tasks, something is going to get left undone or not done well. So you want to protect your reputation by asking the questions, getting some clarity, and just, hey, which do you want me to do? If you want me to do both, this is what that title really should be. Will I get additional administrative assistance? Will I do? Just ask the questions. The worst they can say is no. The worst they can say is do all of it. That's tough on you. And then you can make a different kind of a decision. But if they know that you're astute enough to keep up with your skills and your abilities and what you're doing for them, I think that they will give you a second look when it comes to making those types of decisions as far as who will get promoted, what they tack on to other people, and who they consider a valuable employee. So those are my tips for being slashed. It has happened to me. I just want you to be well aware that there are things that you can do should it happen to you. Oh, the last thing that I'll mention is if you do get slashed, if they do add, different jobs or whatever to what you're already doing, what I would highly recommend is that you ask to be trained. That means go to training, go to conferences that include that position or job, and have them pay for it. Because you can use that there to kind of grow up the ladder, or you can use that in your next place of employment, or you can use that when you become an entrepreneur. How about that? So take full advantage of everything that your employer has to offer while you are there. If they offer tuition, if they offer school, if they offer conferences, classes, I don't care what it's in. Take it. Take full advantage of what they're offering you. And then make certain on the flip side that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing for your employer. You want to sow that kind of grace, because when it becomes your turn to be the employer, you want to make certain that you have done others right, and it will be reciprocated when it's your turn. So that's today's episode of Mogul Moments. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make certain that you're telling people about this broadcast. You're getting all this good stuff and not telling a soul, right? Follow me on social media. Share this link with your friends. I'd love, love, love to hear from you. Take care.